Welcome you inside Deutsch Perry Stadium. I'm Dan Gutowski along with former John Carroll quarterback Ryan Cavanaugh. Ryan, still important games for all these teams in the conference now. Let's start with Miami. Their season took kind of a big detour early. A key injury to their quarterback really kind of reshaped their season.
Brett Gabbert, their starting quarterback, and one of the best in the entire MAC, is more of a traditional drop-back passer. He went out in week one, and this young man, Avion Smith, has taken over this offense. Now, they're still on track where they want to be, and such a large part of it is the running of Smith. He's averaging 5.3 yards per carry, and you only do that with patience and the footwork he brings to the table. And that was a huge run last week because it closed the show in a big win over Kent State.
Miami is very deep in the run game. Now for Bowling Green, it gets real simple for them on defense, Ryan. The Redskins have to be stopped when they're running the ball.
Well, so Coach Scott Loeffler said it best. Even when Miami's run game isn't working, they're going to continue to run. So he knows what to expect. Now, what he needs is his front seven to step up. Right now, they're currently 10th in the MAC against the rush. But you see Carl Brooks. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Darren Anders, these two studs, to bring that senior leadership and the play on the field as a defense, because that's what Bowling Green's really going to need today.
And our weather conditions are just about perfect here. A nice cool breeze, sunlit skies, and we are ready to kick things off here. Bowling Green wins the coin toss as we see our coaches. Chuck Martin, a lot of experience. He's been there almost a decade in Oxford, so again, that's a guy who is very comfortable with his program and, again, has them pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, and you know what you're going to get with a Chuck Martin team. It's going to be very sound defense, and this year they're going to run the ball. They're going to be physical.
Scott Loeffler trying to rally his team emotionally. He didn't think they were all there last week in the loss against Buffalo, so he's had to kind of re-look at how he's motivating his players, but everything we've heard from that BG locker room says they are locked in and pumped up.
Well, Loeffler's a responsibility guy, and from what happened last week, he took the responsibility on his own shoulders as well and said, we need to look inward. We need to figure out what we need to do to get back on track, and it starts with emotion.
So Miami is going to go on offense first, and the kick is going to be bobbled and returned from the 10-yard line and taken out to about the 22. So the opportunity is here, Ryan, for Bowling Green. Set the tone with your defense early. We're not looking for this quarterback to do anything risky or dangerous early. That's Avion Smith you see right there with a guy who's grown into the position. Again, he comes in with a very unusual situation, but the more experience, the more comfortable he gets, and Miami has just followed him all the way.
And it's really in the passing game where he's looking for a higher level of comfortability. And Coach Martin says he's gaining that each week. But when you look at the numbers last week, he ran the ball 10 times and only threw it 14. So we're expecting to see a heavy dose of Avion Smith running the football.
Keon Mosley's going to get a lot of touches today. He'll run on first down. And Bowling Green able to contain him from the perimeter.
Well, Bowling Green defensively is flying to the football early, Dan, and that's something we were going to look at because we felt the loss last week included a lack of emotion, and so far we're not seeing that.
So gain of only one on first down. We're going to keep tabs on what BG will do up front to, again, load up and stop the run. Second down on the carry. Bowling Green answers the bell. Tyree Shelton is your ball carrier.
So we have Avion Smith back there giving it to the running back, and this is where you look for him to pull and keep it. 3rd and 6, traditionally a passing down. You see there, Miami just over 30% in third down conversions. That's not great. It's last in the MAC, in fact. And this is an interesting play right now because of Smith. Is he going to run it, or are they going to throw the football with him?
Anytime they force Miami to throw, that's a win. Now the pocket is kind of on the move, and a quarterback keep. And a very good carry by Smith. I'm not sure if he's quite to the first down marker or not. And there's a flag.
And there's a There's a Bowling Green personnel on the field. Looks like there's a player down. This is where Avion Smith can be so dangerous. Break, contain, and look at the quickness and the footwork again. You know, he runs with such patience, Dan, that he is allowing
on the field,
you to over-pursue.
the first down was achieved. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 60. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the dead ball spot. It'll be 1st and 10 for Miami.
So we hear from David Siegel for the first time today. Boy, a lot of good things happening already on this first series. Remember how much penalties, how many flags Bowling Green took last week. Miami stopping themselves basically there, and you know they're gonna have to work with bad field position now.
Well, the good news for Miami is it's only a 1st and 10 situation because of when the penalty took place. However, you never want to go backwards, especially, you know, it's as if that first down didn't happen because they're right back where they started.
So they get bumped back to the 17-yard line. Smith will play fake and then complete to Kevin Davis, and Davis gets taken down from behind. Again, good coverage by BG. Looking for a spark defensively. That's the the back safety, Patrick Day. Not an impact player for them, Ryan, but that's a big impact play right there.
Really difficult tackling in space, and that's where Miami wants to do. They want to put their speed on the edge, put them in one-on-one situations. That time, Day comes away with the win. Another flag. They might be looking at the horse collar here, Dan.
For 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense, 1 live ball, 1 dead ball. Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 30. 15-yard penalty will be added at the end of the play. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 18. That 15-yard penalty will also be enforced. 1st down.
Well, this is one of those things that Bowling Green cannot allow to have. There's the face mask there.
Yeah, he just gets his hand on it a little bit, takes it, but it's just enough for the officials to throw the flag.
And unnecessary roughness, you know that's not going to fly. And just like that, Miami gets a huge break. They pick up 30 yards to go right to midfield, 1st and 10. Smith making a change at the line. Now he backs out, and he's going to throw deep ball far sideline, and caught fading out of bounds, and a completed catch to Jalen Walker. Wow, what a great hookup and a little comeback for Miami to get a big pickup.
Beautiful ball placement by Avion Smith, but take a look at the body control and the in-air, when the ball's in the air, the adjustment by Jalen Walker keeps the feet in bounds. What a tremendous catch. Fading away, it was like almost a back shoulder fade all the way down the field. And Avion Smith, great touch on that pass.
So the Red Hawks come up with the big play after the penalties. Now the run is stopped. Kevin Davis, they're using him as a running back. That's Patrick Day again on the stop. But tell you what, BG has done great stopping the run. But these 2 penalties and now that long pass play, and they maybe are back on their heels just a little bit, Ryan.
Well, coaches often look at impact plays as some of the deciding factors in a game. When you get those big chunk plays, I would even throw in those penalties. It was a 30-yard play due to penalties.
2nd down and 9. Play fake, time for Smith. Now he goes down. Well, he didn't really have a way to run out of the pocket. And Blaine Spires is one of 2. Demetrius Hardiman is the other one who gets in there for the sack.
It collapses on Smith, and he just holds the ball a little long. In his head, he's got to realize at that moment, I've got to spill, I've got to create with my feet, or need to the football, especially against this Bowling Green. He's very active, one of the top teams in the MAC.
3rd down and 12. Passing down, little throw out the flat, and it dropped, incomplete. Or is it a lateral? Hard to see from this angle, but
Complete forward pass.
incomplete pass.
Close, but that's a forward pass. That's almost just in between the 30 and the 31. To put it in front of him, let him not have to break stride, not have to turn around.
So this is Graham Nicholson on for a field goal attempt. 41 yards out. Not a strong kick is up, and it is good. Actually, the wind a little bit stiffer than it seems, but Graham is able to nail it through from 41 yards out, and Miami is on the board. A 3-0 lead for the Reds. We're back with Bowling Green football here at Doak Ferry. Redhawks take a road lead here early on their first possession against Bowling Green. As we take a look back at the kick by Nicholson, I undersold the wind factor, Ryan. Watch where this ball goes.
Well, Nicholson must have known what he was doing because he started all the way to the right and ended up straight through the uprights. That's what you call a draw. And Scott Leffler, the head coach, we talked to him about his kicker, Mason Lawler. We said, how far out can he make it? He's like 52 if there's no wind, but this stadium is not good with the wind situation. We just saw it firsthand.
Yeah, there it is, front and center. So it's Bowling Green's chance to answer, and the ball is blowing off the tee. So this stadium has a reputation for having some, a little more of a wind factor.
Ball was rolling off the tee prior to the kick.
So let's take a look at the wind at its best.
That was nearly a Charlie Brown moment.
Yeah, we may have to build a graphic showing, the results for the wind. Right now they're +2.
2 over par. Huh?
Yeah.
It's very flat around this stadium. There's nothing to block the wind. Of course, the field house at the north end, but on the south end, and that's what creates a lot of this wind.
That's a clean kick. And ball is caught at the 5. And the return takes it up to just over the 20, about the 24-yard line. That's Teron Keith on the return. So, offensively, Matt McDonald, a proven quarterback, a great pedigree, Ryan. Last week, not one of his best games. What about the corrections that we think he needs to make from last week to be a high-level production quarterback this week?
It's all about the footwork, the rhythm, playing inside the box, as Coach Leffler calls it. And last week, McDonald got outside of himself, was a little loose in those areas with his footwork and his rhythm.
McDonald throwing on first down, incomplete over the middle. Looking for Christian Sims. That was a favorite target of his last week. And boy, I'll tell you what, when we asked Scott Leffler, Ryan, hey, what is going to give your team that confidence this week that maybe was missing last week? He said, my wide receivers are the single group that can bring a lot of emotion. Dropping passes is not a way to bring emotion early into your favor. 2nd and 10. McDonald throwing. That one's too low. And looking at Odu Hilaire.
I like that Leffler's coming out and putting the ball in his quarterback's hands and saying, we're going to throw the ball and we're going to get some confidence and you're going to get into that rhythm early. But his wide receivers right now are not helping him achieve those things.
Looked like he was in a bad position to throw there, but nevertheless, 3rd down and 10.
The ball was certainly low. It wasn't ideal.
McDonald's going to have to move. Little dump pass. Oh, that's a good catch and a good effort to stay on his feet. That's almost a first down. Right to the yard line. Man, I'll tell you what, that's Teron Keith. They're bringing him into the passing game out of the backfield. And, boy, that did not look like a great spot for Bowling Green, but On 4th and 1, they're going to go for it. Or are they?
Ruling on the field was the runner was short of the line to gain. That ruling is under further review.
So we're going to take a closer look at where the ball will be marked. Well, I'll tell you, for what McDonald and Keith were able to do on that play, that did not look like that play would be getting them right to the first down marker.
Well, it was a tremendous effort by Teron Keith, reaching backwards to make a one-handed catch, breaking some tackles, extra effort, and Miami helped the cause a little bit. They tackled him forward at the very end, which gives you another yard or so. Take a look at this catch, though. Like, I forgot something. Let me reach back and then watch. See at the end, at the very end there, he gets tackled moving forward. It looked like Corey Suttle. McDonald under some pressure early. Takes a shot there.
Jerry Bram is our replay official. So, obviously, this is a very important call for Bowling Green. Anytime you can keep your offense on the field and keeping Miami's offense off the field, that's going to be an important thing for Bowling Green going forward today.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
The personnel group we just saw, they brought in another tight end, Andrew Bench, and they brought in Ja'Shawn Patterson. He's 6 foot 220. He's the big back in that room. So what that tells me is they're either going to run it, they're going to run play action. But and you see both of them are in the backfield again, Dan.
Go time for Bowling Green. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 1. Jason Patterson is in the backfield. It's a quarterback sneak. They got a big push up front, and that sure looks like a Falcon first down.
You got a big push up front going right over Jakari Robinson, the center, but look at the push in the back. Here's Bench, 2 hands on McDonald. Nice job by that offensive line up front.
Sometimes you make those little plays, and that can turn into making some big plays as your confidence bumps. Here comes big pressure on 1st down. McDonald works out of it to get positive yardage. And he's out beyond the 40-yard line. Boy, that was some good pressure coming from the end for Miami.
Yeah, that's Brian Ungu, number 8, and he came right around the edge. And that's a speed rush, and somehow McDonald got away from him. But Ungu going around the left tackle, Cameron Stewart. Stewart's 6'6", 285. But it's when you're that big, you got to be able to kick, step, and bend, especially against someone as quick as Ungu.
Gain of 6, so they're going to run it the other way. Good decision for Bowling Green. They are very creative. Flag on the play, though. And again, Kevon Kroom is the one that ends up with the football. We're going to have to figure out what the flag's about, though. Falcons working now, Ryan, to, hey, let's keep this Miami defense off balance.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block. Offense, number 11. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 2nd down.
That's on C.J. Lewis.
And Dan, you just mentioned it. They're keeping the Miami defense off balance. And Coach Leffler, we're going to take a look at it here. It's just to the side, but Coach Leffler talked about how sound this Miami defense is. Oh, there's Sims.
Let's leave the game for one play, at least.
But Coach Leffler was talking about how sound Miami's defense is, and he said the only way you beat them is to violate the rules because they're expecting certain plays, and when they are, certain route combinations, certain runs out of different formations, and it's all about tendency at this level. So Coach Chuck Martin knows what he expects BG to do, and Coach Leffler is trying to keep him off pace, violating those rules that Coach Martin's expecting him to follow.
So the Falcons get pushed back to inside their own 30. McDonald's going to throw, and he'll complete it on that far side. A swarm of defenders right on the ball, but it's Broden on the catch, getting some of that yardage back for the Falcons.
This is Tyrone Broden working on the outside, and he's a big target. He's 6'7". He comes out of his break well, but what I like is he's using his hands. He goes, reaches out, and gets it. Anytime the wide receiver reaches, he's creating more separation from the defensive back to try and get to the football. And Broden not only comes back on that curl route, but also uses his hands to get closer.
He is an easy target to spot in the passing game for BG. They throw and they complete on the near side. Short of a first down. That's Christian Sims. So it's going to bring up fourth down again. I'm not sure if they're close enough. They want to roll the dice and go for it. They're going to be about 4 yards short.
This is a three-man combination, and Sims runs the out. You know, there's three general areas you'll go on those combinations, and they're keeping the offense out here, Dan.
Michael Dowell made the tackle to force this 4th and 4. And Miami's going to call a timeout.
Timeout. Miami.
Get some
Their first
thoughts defensively. Timeout here. It's Bowling Green on 4th down and 4 when we come back. For Bowling Green, Ryan, it's winning time is early in this game. They want to make plays that will hopefully carry them closer to getting points. And here another opportunity to go forward on 4th down on this first drive for them.
Yeah, well, you see they're 5th in the MAC. They're already 1-1 in this game. Now it's 4th and 4. It's a little bit longer, but Coach Loeffler, how do you instill confidence in your team? You leave your offense out there and say, we trust in you. Now go get us these 4 yards. However, high risk, high reward early. Their defense is playing good, and you don't want to give Miami the ball in your own end.
Empty backfield, too, for Matt McDonald. Trying to keep this drive moving for the Falcons. McDonald's going to throw, and a flag goes down. The catch is made. And that is an effective grab for sure. Again, it's Teron Keith, who continues to be an impactful player in the passing game, but what about the flag?
Well, they threw it right at the offensive line.
Offense. Yep. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 4th down.
And yeah, they're going to get the left guard, Jalen Grant. Anytime you see the flag thrown right there, because there wasn't much this route. It was just a seam, like a hitch right there in the seam, and they're using their running back early out of the backfield. Again, though, McDonald was under pressure. And definitely punting situation now for Bowling Green.
So, yeah, a little bit of an eye roll there from Scott Loeffler. Boy, you hate to do the right things and then have one wrong thing undo it. Punt a little bit soft. Not returnable for sure. That's Samir Sear on the punt. And it's Miami football. So a little bit of a deflating possession for Bowling Green. It's Red Hawks football when we come back to Dwight Perry Stadium. So Miami back on offense here, but it's the penalties. You look at that, you go, what? The game just started.
Yeah, 55 yards, penalty yards, and they last week 4 turnovers, 117. They're almost halfway there with the penalty yards, but 2 personal fouls in the same play, and that was really one of the big chunk plays. Even though it was penalty yardage, hidden yards that set up the field goal.
Smith fakes one way, down he goes. So the danger of the passing game for Miami. And I'll tell you what, the big fella coming up big, Walter Hare. Man, there is no doubt about it, sack here.
Yeah, they just run a stun up front, but it's more of Walter Hare just not accepting to be blocked, working through. And Avion Smith, he wanted to throw the bubble to the right. The defense covered it, and as he was working through the progressions, Hare got to him. And that's the difference between an experienced passing quarterback and a running quarterback who's trying to figure it out. It takes him longer to go through those progressions when the first option isn't there.
That's a loss of 7. And again, that's going to make it a little more problematic for Miami to run. They will go on the ground here. And again, Kevin Davis is your ball carrier. Not a huge pickup.
The ball came out, but I believe they're going to call him down. There's big Jack Coldiron, who dove on top of the fumbled football.
Again, the undercurrent last week for Bowling Green was, where is our emotion? And here's a guy that we know will bring emotion. You saw Carl Brooks.
Yep, a 2-time captain. And he's and Matt McDonald, two-time captain on the offense. But defensively, that's who they're looking to. They're looking to Carl Brooks to make a play. And he's one of the best in the MAC.
They're going to want a quarterback keep. Smith is going to run, and he will get positive yardage, but he is nowhere near a first down. Another win for Bowling Green on defense.
We just talked about Carl Brooks and bringing the energy. I was talking about him pass rushing, but right there, take a look at number 11 on the edge. He's working. It's a quarterback draw, and look who chases Smith down. Carl Brooks. Punt team's coming on the field, but, you know, when that energy, it's great to go out there and yell and jump around, but you got to be able to translate that into making plays, and that's who Carl Brooks is. He can do both of those.
Dom Jobin is on to punt for Miami. And BG sets up for the return inside the 20. And it will not be returned. Kind of a short kick. Fairly good punt, though. It got a Miami roll. Let's talk about Bowling Green's ability to put pressure on the quarterback. So far, so good in this game and for the whole season.
Yeah, I said earlier they're one of the best in the MAC. They're one of the best in the country. Tops in the MAC, and Carl Brooks is one of those guys. But they've already got 2 this afternoon, 2 sacks on Avion Smith. 13 players with a sack, most in FBS. That means they're just not relying on a couple ends to do it. They're getting production from their entire defense.
Yeah, that means Eric Lewis has got a lot of guys. They toss on first down, and that is not a great pickup. Good defense there as Tayron Keith continues to be the workhorse offensively for the Falcons.
Yeah, but it's Ryan McWood, the linebacker from Miami, sideline to sideline, making plays. And just like offensively, you want to get somebody in a rhythm. Defensively, you want to see your Ryan McWoods, your Carl Brooks, those guys making plays. Because, I mean, this guy is coming off a Defensive Player of the Week in the MAC East last week, and he's showing up again.
Loss of 4. McDonald's going to throw. High ball, stretch catch made by Hilaire on that far side. Had to kind of look up right into the sun to catch it. But he hauls it down for a pretty big pickup for Bowling Green.
This is a really nice pass over the defender, and Adu Hilaire with the excellent individual effort with the stretch. It's not an easy catch to make.
And now they stay on the ground and pick up a first down, or they're right at the marker. I think he got beyond it by a yard or 2. So look at that left hand for Ryan McWood. Again, he's a Midwest guy from Grosse Pointe, Michigan's Brother Rice High School.
Oh, yeah, very familiar. I actually
that's
played
your backyard.
in the conference with Brother Rice. But that, as a linebacker, with the production he has, it's so difficult because you can't grab and hold on with that. There's no exposed fingers.
Flag goes before the snap. Miami trying to sell it like it's offsides by Bowling Green. And every point indicates that's what it is.
Ball start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Scott Loeffler, the BG head coach, well, there's no shying away from his emotion at all.
You know, there's penalties, and you just can't have that on first down and dig yourself into a better hole, especially when you start getting into a rhythm. McDonald
throws kind of a hot throw and bounces off the fingertips of Jamal Johnson.
Yep, and that, to revisit a couple plays ago, that catch by Adu Hilaire stretched his reception streak to 29 games.
Very consistent for the Falcons. Second down and 15.
A little hot on that pass from McDonald.
Haven't seen McDonald take many tough throws downfield. Let's see what they do here. Little screen pass. Now they're going to get a fairly decent, not so much, as Miami is able to close in on Keith. Miami was ready to shut that one down.
That's Michael Dowell, the Michigan State recruit, number 21. And here's that streak we talked about. Odu Hilaire creeping up. And you see on the left there, Dylan Drummond from Eastern Michigan. He went to high school, and his high school coach was Al Martin, who happens to be Chuck Martin's coach. So a lot of ties in the MAC here.
3rd down and 14.
You wonder how Chuck Martin didn't call his brother and be like, how about that Drummond guy?
He might get reminded of that once in a while.
Every time they play EMU.
McDonald, deep ball in the middle, and a juggle catch by Broden. Wow, that was tough. Boy, anytime you see that ball getting mishandled for BG, you get a little anxious, but Bowden hauls it in for the big first down.
It was almost intercepted, but Broden goes down. Look, the defender almost had a chance at that one. That was McKee in coverage. And look at Broden with the concentration to haul it in.
I've seen so many bobbled balls this last week and now today. McDonald's on the run. He'll step and throw. Let's see. He's got, that's an easy pass interference call. It's not probably fair to the defensive back, but kind of got caught in no man's land, and Bowling Green's probably going to get a good pickup out of this. And Scott Loeffler is probably saying, hey, I need every flag I can get to go my way for once.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 19. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Now, I know this is a tough call, but if you look, the defender is actually, he's got a right to his spot, and the wide receiver runs right into him.
Yeah.
But I guess as a defense, that's a tough call. And that's what Coach Martin's saying, is he's standing there ready to jump and make a play at the ball. The offensive player, if anything, incidental contact. 2 guys running into each other.
Falcons looking for some karma, some good karma. That's one. And they get set up, looks like the 37-yard line.
But you can see the play calling of Scott Loeffler. That was a roll right, throw all the way back left. He's trying to follow that script of being unpredictable and keeping Miami off schedule of what their expectations of the Bowling Green offense are.
McDonald hands off to Johnson, who gets room on that far side. Gets inside the 30. Falcons mixing it up offensively in the air, on the ground. And again, this is where they are going to control this game if they can keep doing that offensively.
It's a really nice play. It's a jet sweep. That jet motion, McDonald flips it to him. Jamal Johnson, they're attacking the defense at different areas, to your point, Dan. Not only downfield, but also in the run game.
9-yard gain on first down. An OC's dream. 2nd and short. Play fake. McDonald under duress. And he just falls ahead and kept the football short of a first down, but that play blew up pretty quick.
That's because of Brian Ungu, number 8, the end on the right side of the Miami defense. Again, getting around the right. There he is. And Ungu is using the speed rush. You also had Austin Ertl, the nose tackle, in pursuit. And McDonald wisely goes down.
3rd down and 2. Handoff to Patterson, who bounces outside for a first down. A couple of white jerseys are on him, but Jason Patterson making good things happen for the Falcons, and they are inside almost to the red zone, about the 23-yard line.
Again, that's the short yardage back. 6 foot, 220-pound sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida. He gets behind the right side of that offensive line. Bronson Warner, Alex Wolschlager.
McDonald's going to step and throw near side, end zone look, incomplete. Bowden got some contact, but pretty much incidental in a ball that was really not catchable.
Well, that's where you want to miss if you're Matt McDonald. You hear it all the time. Throw it where only your receiver can get it. And it looked like Broden had a step on the cover guy, McKee. But McDonald just a little bit too far. And, we're looking at, there's Yassine McKee. He's 5'10", and Broden, of course, 6'7". So he's trying to create those 50-50 jump ball opportunities and expect his taller receiver to get it.
And the wind is tangible here for the field goal kickers. There's Patterson trying to get the end, and He doesn't get much on that far side as he rolls into the into the Bowling Green bench, excuse me. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Falcons. We'll do it when we come back.
The end of the first quarter.
For the second quarter. 3-0 is our lead after 1 quarter. Miami leading here at Bowling Green. Second quarter football here at Bowling Green. We talked about the elements. It looks great. It is great, but the wind is a factor. You can see the flag, and you can see it's fairly solid breeze. Here's the 3 points from Miami, and you can see where that kick starts, and there it goes.
Yeah, and that's what BG, if they don't convert on this 3rd down, Mason Lawler is going to come out and be dealing with that wind if they elect to go for the field goal.
McDonald steps, throws, and that's complete to Sims in traffic. Short of a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Sims, you saw Sims stretch at the very end, and he's a big-bodied guy and a favorite target of McDonald.
Okay, bad spot by me. First down pickup. We don't give enough props to the chain gang, do we? We'll revisit that from last week at some point, probably. 1st and 10, Falcons keep it moving.
You got 2 tight ends.
BG with a first down and a deep throw, end zone, intercepted. In the end zone, the Miami Redhawks take it away, and Yashin McKee is the one who stepped in front and kills Bowling Green's drive.
McDonald was looking for the corner route, and the ball hangs in the air a little too long. This is either, and look at the pressure, but this is either because he was late in throwing it or there was too much air underneath it. But McKee takes advantage of it and is able to get underneath. They brought pressure there and got to McDonald. He released the ball before, obviously, but what a play by that man, Yassin McKee.
Yeah, he was targeting Bowden, but again, he didn't really get it up there high enough to protect that football, and now it's Miami working from their own 20. And they will run on the ground, and they will get nothing.
That's the defense we were talking about, Dan, trying to get this, how was this defensive front for Bowling Green going to respond? And right there, their leader, Carl Brooks, is giving the appropriate response. Miami has had some tough sledding trying to run the football.
And it's tough, Ryan, for the defense to, kind of dig in and re-energize that emotion after your offense is, kind of stumbled with an interception like that. 2nd and 12. And flags before the snap. And you can see.
Full start. Offense. Number 56. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So that's Reed Holsky, the right tackle. And all Bowling Green wants to do is just get the drive ended here, get the football back.
Miami early, 9 carries, only 9 yards. Bowling Green's winning in the trenches on this side of the ball.
On the ground, and good running in the middle. Good ankle tackle, but it's Kevin Davis who is just that's time it's Tyree Shelton on the run. Good blocking in the middle for the Redhawks.
Yeah, gets excellent blocking up front. And this is Bacon, Chris Bacon, who was a standout last week. 8 tackles. He's got 42, now 43 on the season. But that was the difference in this game from last week is that this game, the defensive front's making the tackles. That's the first time we've seen Bacon come up. Nice run by Miami.
And Bowling Green has Miami in another passing situation. Not their comfort zone on 3rd and 7. Quarterback keep. And it's clogged in the middle for Avion Smith. But he does get pretty close. There was still good blocking there. Looks like he's short by maybe about 2 yards.
You see, Jordan Oladunku coming up and making the play. And, they've got to punt it here.
So Jobin and the officials step in, and a timeout taken by Bowling Green.
Timeout. Bowling Green. They're first of the half.
So as we're kind of checking the boxes for Bowling Green, they're trailing 3-0 here. Miami on the road with the lead on the Falcons. Scott Loeffler, the Bowling Green head coach, got to be happy with what his defense has done. And if the offense can come up to where the defense is at, this game could easily flip in favor of the Falcons, Ryan.
Well, Bowling Green's been so good at protecting the football. They weren't last week, 4 turnovers, and then 1 here in the red zone. And that's got to be a point of emphasis for Coach Loeffler because their offense is moving it well in between the 20s, and then they stall out.
Jake Rogers deep to return. The punt from Dom Jobin on a 4th and 2. No pressure on the kick, and a very good punt caught in the air. And Rogers is going to stay up and get to about the 40-yard line. So, again, we were keying in the open on Miami's running game. How that philosophy has been in place since the injury earlier in the year to the quarterback that so many people thought was maybe the best one in this MAC conference.
Yeah, and right now I believe they're missing Gabbert, but they're also missing the ability to throw. They've only attempted 3 passes through an entire quarter. That's an average of 12 on the game. Gabbert might have that by this point already.
Bowling Green on the ground to Patterson on 1st down, and he falls ahead to about the 45.
Yeah, Patterson was a little frustrated that he lost his footing there, but this is what you want. You're ahead of the chains. It's 2nd and 6. You're staying on schedule offensively. And I'd like to see Bowling Green establish the run game. They seem very pass-heavy right now. And the run game, as everybody knows, sets up the pass, and there they go again.
Patterson spins away and gets to about the 48. It's going to bring him 3rd down and not much.
And I think that was Ryan McWood again on the tackle, and he's got a nose for the football. He's just a tremendous linebacker.
3rd down and 3. Falcons have been productive for the most part on offense, but they're going to have to get some points, especially after McDonald threw an end zone pick on that last possession. They'll throw on this 3rd down. Little toss in the middle, incomplete. Looking for Kavon Kroom. Kavon Kroom, just another one that was right there for Bowling Green, Ryan.
What I think happened is McDonald throws him right into a defender, and Kavon Kroom could take his eyes off the ball because watch. Coming in, see the defender right there. So, I mean, look, no excuses. Kroom's got to make that catch. But that was a check down. McDonald was looking to his right, and that was about his 3rd option. But I like they're leaving the offense out.
And timeout, Miami.
Charge timeout. Miami. They're 2nd of the half.
So Chuck Martin's not in his comfort zone. He wants to get his defense secure. We'll take a break here at Bowling Green. We knew we'd have a low-scoring game here between Miami and Bowling Green, and that is what is playing out here in the early part of the 2nd quarter. And the Falcons, Ryan, showing a propensity to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not low scoring because Scott Loeffler is using his punt team too much.
Yeah.
In fact, he has a real strong aversion to sending them out there today. And again, another shot of confidence. They're technically 1 for 1 on 4th because they ended up punting after having a penalty when they went for it a 2nd time. So this will be the 3rd time, 2nd official, that they go for it on 4th down. 7 of 13 this year on 4th down conversions.
They've got to get just a couple yards to get to midfield, and it's a quarterback keep. Oh, and he looks off the pitch, and he keeps it. So they get the yardage, and they get yardage afterwards for a big pickup A smart play. McDonald not really a great runner, but that's a great decision to keep the ball there.
Let's go back as we look at this unique play to what Coach Leffler said. They almost blocked it like they were going to run zone read on the inside. That's what Miami's defense is expecting. And he created the illusion that that was coming and went outside. Beautiful play call and design and also execution by McDonald.
It's about a 12-yard gain on 4th down. Deep throw and incomplete. Late flag coming in. Ball was intended for Harold Fannin Jr. at about the 10-yard line. Flag came late.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, Harold Fannin Jr., to me, it looked like he mistimed his jump. But McDonald, again, staying in the pocket.
Well,
is there a jersey grab?
Yeah, that's that angle looks a lot different than the one that we saw looking from where McDonald was throwing. But Bowling Green's going to get the ball at the 25. McDonald's going to throw again. This one underneath. And again, they go back to Fannin. Again, nothing flashy. But they get to about the 16-yard line and a gain of 9. Again, this is, you look at the score and you see, well, Bowling Green hasn't scored, but it seems like they are dictating tempo on offense when they're on the field.
Like I said, they're having a lot of effectiveness moving in between the 20s. But now how do they finish the drive now that they're in here? And when I say finish the drive, Coach Leffler doesn't want 3 points. He wants 6. Second and short, good opportunity for his offense.
Yeah, they got to climb to the top of the mountain. Here's a quarterback keep. McDonald gets ankle tackled, gets out of it, and now gets inside the 15 to maybe the 13.
Nice job by the quarterback, McDonald. Oh, it was Orth in the game.
Yeah, a little quarterback switch. That's Camden Orth, the junior from Gainesville, Florida. So another surprise from Scott Leffler.
Yes, he's sticking to the script.
And mixing it up very well. 1st and 10 from the 13. Another trip to the red zone for the Falcons. They threw an interception here last time. Now it's Johnson on the run. He's got some space. Turns it inside, fighting to the 5-yard line. Jamal Johnson.
He's got the return motion, and they give it to him. Johnson lined up as a slot, and as he was doing it, the entire defense from Miami, there's a lot of guys talking, trying to get their responsibilities, and nobody's on the outside. In fact, Bowling Green flanks him. There's Harold Fannin, number 44.
Great block downfield.
Excellent block on the edge. Fannon's an absolute beast. He's a true freshman, and he's got a very high ceiling.
Falcons are at the 5-yard line. 2nd down. McDonald throwing, end zone, just short. Couldn't quite fall in, but a good catch falling down. Not an easy grab for sure. That's Hilaire on the grab. Good coverage, but a better catch.
Take a look at this. This is a one-handed grab. He reaches out the left arm and brings it in. Look at that. He doesn't even bring it in. He just grabs it. Beautiful job by Odu Hilaire.
And that is 1st and goal from the 1. And they are bunched in tight.
Got bench in the backfield.
McDonald's going to keep. They're just going to push on him from behind. And let's see if that pile has moved into the end zone.
Well, the side judge has raised his hand as if to indicate he did not get in. And there's nothing real complex about this. McDonald's taking the snap, and Andrew Bench is pushing him from behind. And it just becomes a rugby scrum, and who's going to get a bigger push? So you got Jakari Robinson, the center, working on that front. Austin Ertl, the nose tackle from Miami.
They are just outside the goal line. 2nd and goal. And there they go. Fannin on the touchdown. Bowling Green mixing it up And they are in the end zone for a lead here against Miami.
They're not just mixing up what they're doing, they're mixing up who they're doing it with. Because on the goal line, when you see a tight end come in motion, you're expecting to run it that way, but not with him. And instead, McDonald turns around, hands it to Harold Fannin, and there is nobody over there to cover the true freshman from Canton McKinley High School.
Fannin is making a big impact right now for Bowling Green. And the Falcons are going to hit the extra point and take a 7-3 lead here midway through this second quarter. We're back, and the Falcons have a lead at home on Miami. Redhawks football when we continue.
At Bowling Green State University, we are...
Talk about some energy here at Deutsch Perry Stadium. Not just the players, not just the coaches. Here's the touchdown run.
Well, we talked about violating the rules and giving them something they want. Look at the entire defense is looking this way. McDonald's play faking it to Patterson, but he's already given the football to Harold Fannin. And you see Caden Woolard, number 90, standing all on his own because his eyes were in the backfield looking at Patterson. And Scott Leffler this week said, we have to give them the illusion that they're getting what they think they're going to get. And that time they created the illusion of Patterson off the right on a stretch run, except Fannin went around the end. Very unpredictable, not something Miami's seen. And right now I think that defense is reeling, trying to figure out what are we going to do with this Bowling Green offense.
Yeah, you saw Max Warner there and Greg Nosale, who is the other co-offensive coordinator for Bowling Green. And, you know, let's be honest, it's been a tough last few days. They were disappointed, obviously, in how they played.
Kicking team, number 93. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Disappointed in how they played against Buffalo. They were disappointed in the lack of emotion, and it caused a lot of, kind of soul-searching in the meetings and prep work this week. And you know, Scott Leffler admitted to us, Ryan, that it was a hard loss to shake off. But again, all the compasses now, everything seems to be calibrated and pointed north. And they are having a lead in this game for the first time. And the run on first down. Man, that is Tyree Shelton on the run. And again, Carl Brooks is making his presence felt again for the Falcons.
Well, you mentioned the energy, and one more thought on that. Coach Leffler said, I wasn't able to eat till Tuesday. But look at Carl Brooks. And right now, they can't run at Carl Brooks. They can't pass because Carl Brooks is disruptive in the offensive backfield. The only thing to be concerned about is how many snaps are they going to give Carl Brooks. They said they normally have 30 to 35 snaps for defensive linemen. Last week, Carl Brooks played 65.
Smith is going to throw. He's got some time. A lot of air under this ball, and they're going to throw a flag. And that is going to be certainly probably on Jalen Burton. Well, I'll tell you, there's...
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So a penalty against Bowling Green. And again, this is a theme that we're going to be paying attention to. I think there was, just enough contact to get him off balance. Ball is in the vicinity. And the Miami Redhawks are right at midfield now.
Yeah, they're trying to get it to their outstanding wide receiver, Mac Hippenhammer. I don't know if Hippenhammer could have gotten to the football, but there certainly was enough contact.
On the ground, they get the push. And again, it's Shelton on the carry. This defensive line, we have to give props to Bowling Green. They have answered the bell all game long up front.
Yeah, and we talked about the number of snaps. There's J.B. Brown getting in on the action, so they are rotating people. But Carl Brooks, he's been a constant out there. But they've been very tough at the point of attack.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7, but they have moved into Falcon territory. Miami trying to answer the touchdown. Oh, man, a takedown hit right at the line. Big props for Anthony Hawkins. Man, I'll tell you what, whatever the BG defensive linemen did this morning when they woke up, they did it right.
Look at Hawkins. And the Matt Bjornsson, the tight end, ran right past Big 54, and Hawkins took advantage of it.
When you're calling the tackler before you're calling the runner, that's a huge win for the defense.
Right.
Kevin Davis got his bell rung there. 3rd and long. Smith throwing. Oh, caught in open space. And BG tackling after the catch, but now tempers are flying. So the catch made by Jalen Walker, and emotions running hot after the catch. No flags, though.
I can't believe, for as many flags as we've seen, you would think this would draw it. Beautiful job by Avion Smith. Look at Carl Brooks with the big body slam, the suplex, the 2-point takedown. And obviously he did not like that. He got up, did Walker, and responded with a shove.
Well, that's always a gray area when the player gets actually lifted off the field or off the turf. So maybe that's where that comes from. But big pickup there at the 32. Smith under pressure. Down he goes. Man, there was Bowling Green jerseys all over the place. And finally, Darren Anders delivering an impact play for the Falcons.
There was nobody from Bowling Green who went for this play fake. And look at the number. Anders is on him. Beautiful job. There's 3 Bowling Green defenders there. Oladokin also there as well, but it was all Darren Anders taking him down. And another one of these Bowling Green veterans that we expected to have a big response game on the defensive side of the ball.
That's a 9-yard loss. 2nd down. They're going to run, and this is not going to develop into anything. That's Kenny Tracy. And BG, Ryan, is getting big plays up front from everybody on the line. It isn't just Brooks anymore.
No, you got Hawkins, you got Anders right there coming up. And Anders doesn't make the tackle, but he came up and filled the hole, which caused the running back to bounce. Carl Brooks, and look at his jersey. I mean, that's a guy who he's been involved.
When you have a disheveled jersey on defense, you know you're doing something right. 3rd down and 15.
Yeah, like causing people to hold you.
On the run. No way, no how. Another takedown of Kevin Davis. Man, there is something happening right now that's Hardeman defensively for BG. It is all working right for the Falcons right now.
And they're the team on this field with the energy. They're the ones that are creating the action. You see Day back there, but Hardeman all over. You see Anders rolling on top. I mean, every time there's a tackle, there's 4 brown jerseys on top of the ball carrier.
So the drive stalls, and a short punt by Jobin. Fair catching inside the 10. No return. So Falcons with bad field position, but they have momentum late here against Miami. Team. Great things were expected, and the early injury derails him. Again, there's no hard timeline on a return or anything, but again, Miami has managed well without him, but the quarterback with Avion Smith doesn't have really big play capability in his repertoire. Here's McDonald, deep throw, 1st down. Oh boy, that could have been a huge pickup. Looking for Jason Patterson Christian Sims out of the backfield. Again, another ball that was probably right there for BG.
McDonald did a beautiful job of reading this. They just have 3 verticals, and this is a ball Sims has to catch. And look, he allows it to get onto his shoulder pad instead of going up with 2 hands to bring it in.
Again, it's not like Bowling Green has to go big play and right here, but they do want to obviously get to some production here with 2 minutes and change left in our first half. They run on 2nd down.
Miami's going
to take a timeout. They're going to try to keep some clock for themselves.
30 seconds. Charge timeout. Miami.
And
their 3rd.
Ryan, what's your assessment of
the half?
This first half of football for Miami?
Well, they're very one-dimensional offensively. They're one-dimensional offensively, which we expected coming in. But when they've tried to throw the football, they haven't been able to protect Avion Smith. The combination of that and Avion Smith holding onto the ball, in my opinion, too long, has made them even more one-dimensional because they're just not calling passing plays that much. And defensively, they have a very sound defense. They're always in position. Coach Leffler, he knew that. I mean, I looked at this game as maybe the best offensive mind in the MAC and Scott Leffler against maybe the best defensive mind in Chuck Martin. But right now, scheme-wise, Scott Leffler's a little bit ahead. I think he's posing questions that Miami's defense does not have the answers to. And he's doing that through formations and using different players at different times. Big third down. We'll see what Coach Leffler has drawn up.
Again, the Falcons are working from their 11-yard line. Even one first down might be enough to keep the football for the rest of this half. McDonald. Oh, big pressure ball is on the turf. Recovered by Bowling Green, but oh man, that could have been a disaster. Got to give credit to Cameron Stewart, who picked it up off the turf. Holy cow.
They brought a defensive back, Jaquez Warren, on a blitz, and Caden Woolard is there as well, number 90. Oh, it's from the back. Yeah, that was Corey Suttle coming from the right side, and it's Woolard who almost recovers the football. Look, there's Caden Woolard, number 90, but it's Cameron Stewart, the left tackle, who falls on it.
Well, you don't expect that kind of ball presence from an offensive lineman. But man, that may have really saved Bowling Green's game right there. Now a flag thrown, maybe delay of game.
Well, they're not moving very far back if it is delay a game. So they don't have to worry about that adding to their penalty yardage.
Play game, offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Fourth down. Please reset the game clock to 1:33. 1:33.
So they'll throw 9 seconds back on the clock. Obviously, the Falcons in terrible field position, but they'll be punting. Sami Sear is a freshman from Melbourne, Australia. And he's backed up about as far as you can go.
This is compressed, so you got to catch and kick right away.
And Miami should get good field position unless Sim just unloads one here. Oh, that's pretty good. And fair catch caught just inside the 45. That's a great punt that helps out Bowling Green quite a bit.
Yeah, that is about as much as you could expect from your punter in that situation. The Red Hawks had all 10, well, 10, one returner and 10 people on the line of scrimmage. In those situations, you got to come after it. And they did just that. Let's see what Avion Smith and this offense can dial up. They're 43 yards from the end zone. And I believe in this type of game, low scoring as we expected, the number one goal is to get into field goal territory, because if you can get 3 points here, that could go a long way.
So Miami has time, but again, the clock is a little bit of an enemy. Here's a throw on first down. The pocket collapses. Little pass underneath. Just a kind of an escape throw there, complete to Hippenhammer. And they force him out. So all things considered, oh, the clock's running. He's in bounds.
Yeah, nice tackle by DJ Taylor. There he is, number 17.
Smith throwing again underneath. And they keep him in bounds. The connection to the tight end, Jack Coldiron. We haven't called his name, but that's a guy who can do very good things for Miami. Third and short. Under 50 seconds. Now Smith is on the run with a seam in the middle. Look at him pick his way through inside the 20. That is reminiscent to that big run he had last week to protect the win. And again, he's not going to beat you with, like, you know, greyhound cheetah speed. It's more about being nimble. In the red zone, Smith, they'll take a shot in the end zone. Did he hold it?
Yes, he did.
Touchdown, Miami. Unbelievable. That's Miles Marshall. Wow. You don't expect them to take a chance like that, but it pays off with a perfect throw by Smith to Marshall.
They had the matchup on the outside. They wanted it, and they throw the ball up to the 6'4" Miles Marshall. And Avion Smith gives his receiver a chance, and look at the adjustment over the shoulder, gets the feet in, and that is a tremendous throw from Avion Smith. And look at Miles Marshall tracking the football. What a catch.
Hey, credit to Deshaun Jones. He was right there. Just, a little bit better ball awareness. He might have been able to jump and knock that away, but boy, Miami has a short field. They take advantage, and the extra point is good. So Graham Nicholson gets the extra point, and we are right in the thick of it with a tight ball game. Not high scoring. Big plays have been kind of few and far between, but for Miami, that counts as a big play.
Yeah.
So now, Ryan, as we kind of spin ahead to what the halftime locker rooms will sound like, let's talk first about Bowling Green. What's Scott Loeffler telling his team in the locker room?
We need more of exactly what we're doing, because the only reason that Miami's ahead of us are, I would say, 4 chunk plays, and one of those is a penalty. But on the first drive, they had 30 yards in penalties, and then the long pass up the sideline to set up the field goal. And then here, the run by Smith, and then the pass in the corner for the touchdown. But frankly, they're down by 3, but it feels like they're winning this football game.
And conversely, what's Chuck Smith going to talk about with his team? Chuck Martin, excuse me.
Coach Martin, they got to get on track offensively. You have these good long plays, but they need to be more consistent offensively, and they need to be more gap responsible, more sound defensively.
Well, we had a late, kind of a late explosion, if you will, from Miami offensively. They were aggressive. The big play, the big run by Avion Smith certainly put them in a great spot, and then he throws the touchdown to Marshall.
Yeah, sometimes it's just about making plays, like having guys win those one-on-one individual battles. That touchdown, they did it, and the earlier catch up the sidelines by Jalen Walker on the back shoulder fade from Avion Smith. So their receivers are making plays for Avion Smith, and he's throwing those deep balls really well.
So the squib kick, more or less, goes through the end zone. And with 31 seconds, not expecting Bowling Green to get crazy here, but here's the run that really sets up the touchdown.
Yeah, it's a dedicated quarterback draw, and look at his ability to navigate and set up blocks. One of the most difficult things for a running back or a running quarterback, anybody with the football in their hands, is having the patience to not be in a hurry to get everywhere. The patience is what allows your blockers to get in position. It allows holes to open up, and that's what I think Avion Smith does the best. Is he's not in a hurry, and he allows the play to develop, and then his eyes to guide him as to where to go.
Bowling Green's going to head off to the locker room, as will Miami. The Falcons will have the football when we start our third quarter here at Deutsch Perry Stadium. A low-scoring game. We knew it would be that way, but a big emotional push by the Falcons here at home. A 10-7 Miami lead. Halftime when we come back to Bowling Green. Bowling Green defense early, Ryan. They have been superior.
And it starts with the front 7. They've been all over, especially Carl Brooks, number 11, making an impact. They haven't allowed Avion Smith to be comfortable in the pocket, and that has really been the effort they were looking for and expecting, and they've been outstanding on that side of the ball.
Yeah, very emotionally different than last week here against Buffalo, and now here's Miami. We knew they would be trying to run the football. His running has really made a difference for them.
Yeah, leading rusher in this half for Miami. And this is a big one right here. This set up the score at the end of the half. And you can see the patient running style. And then how about this pass to Miles Marshall up the sideline, the lone touchdown for Miami in this first half.
They took advantage of good field position and then had the big play to take the lead here. First half stats, What number jumps out at you here, Ryan?
Well, the 32 yards rushing by Miami, that says that BG's doing their job, but also the 75 yards in penalties for Bowling Green. We talked about that as an Achilles heel from last week, and it's very rare when both teams pass for the exact same amount in the half.
BG wins time of possession. Our second half kickoff when we come back to Doak Perry. Third quarter football is coming. Bowling Green will have it after a pretty good looking first half. They were, not necessarily not dominant. Obviously, the scoreboard, Ryan, says it's a Miami lead, but if you're looking for moral victories, the Falcons have certainly moved past the issues of last week when they were emotionally underwhelmed against Buffalo. And there's Chuck Martin. A precarious lead for sure here as we start this third quarter.
And Bowling Green's going to get the football, which certainly is good for Coach Leffler, but for Coach Martin and his defense, they need to rise to the occasion. I mean, and listen, in fairness, they've held them to 7 points in a half. So, but
ball caught at the 1. And a pretty good return as, again, Bowling Green with Teron Keith continues to be, and they say there's a fumble. Miami's making like they have the football.
The official on the far side is pointing Bowling Green football.
Well, Miami's going to sell that pretty hard.
Prior to the fumble.
Yeah, there's a fun, it's interesting when both sides are totally convinced that the ball is theirs.
Right. Well, and usually the team that's sometimes the team that's more animated is trying to sell it.
And that's a fumble. His legs are on top of the defender. The ball's out. And there you see the ball just bouncing to the right. They're going to take a look at it.
Here's a good angle.
On the field was the runner was down. That ruling is under further review.
Yeah, that's not the angle that they're going to use.
Right. I don't know if I think the first angle was better.
We'll see this as well. Also very tough. Now, one of these might be able to tell you who comes up with the football.
And again, this might be the best angle.
Yeah, and the question is he laying on top of a defender? Because I don't think his knees are down right there, but the ball's out.
Yeah. But if he is on top of a defender, then that's down?
No, I'm saying if his knees are not. You'll see a tackle and he rolls off of him and can keep running.
Okay.
Because the knee or any downable part, there's no part of his body on the turf right now. If his knees are on top of the defender, he's not down, but the ball's out.
Well, that is a problematic one for our replay official, Jerry Bram. And I can't quite see now because I was looking at his knee, but if the ball got punched out, I don't think so. I think it was just maybe a little bit careless on the part of Teron Keith.
Keith was one of the impact players for Bowling Green in that first half, especially early in the first quarter. They were getting him on the ground, through the air, in the return game.
Well, this is really going to be a tough one. Bowling Green already had a red zone opportunity where McDonald threw an interception in the red zone. There's ways to lose football games, but self-inflicted mistakes is not the way you want to go as we go split screen here.
And that's just a beautiful, it's not a camera angle, it's two of them. But you can see from behind on the left when the ball comes out, and here on the right, I believe is evidence his knee was not touching.
After further review, the ball was fumbled prior to the runner's knee being down. The ball was recovered by Miami. It'll be 1st and 10 for Miami.
So Scott Leffler is going to have to deal with some adversity when he thought his offense was going to possibly make a statement. Now it's his defense that's going to have to live up and carry over what they did so well in the first half. And the Redhawks have a short field to work with here starting this third quarter. Smith will keep. And they almost have him boxed in. Now they tackle him from behind. Positive yardage, but that's Anthony Hawkins making the tackle from behind. And that could have gone for more, but fortunately Hawkins able to get to the right position and make the stop. Gain of 5.
And that time, Smith wanted to throw to the running back on a bubble out of the backfield. He was covered, and he just pulled it down and ran from that point. In the first half, when that wasn't open, he'd go to options 2 or 3 and get sacked.
There's Davis on the ground. They're pounding in the middle. There's not much there. Miami's key to success, Ryan, we said in the open, was running the football. And for the most part, Bowling Green's been able to contain them, except it seems the one area of success they've had is running in the middle. That seems to be opening just a little bit more.
Well, they've got Caleb Schaefer, the left guard. He started 30 games in his career. The center, Rusty Feth, has started 28 games, and you got Colby Borders as right guard. Those three are doing a terrific job through the middle. But that's where the experience, the strength of this offense right now, it's the big fellas up front.
3rd down and 3. Redhawks hoping to take advantage of the turnover and the field position. Smith wide open. Oh, what a hit to knock it incomplete. And that is a very hard hit on number 84, Reginald Virgil. Chris Bacon made the hit.
Look at Chris Bacon come across from the safety position. Virgil, the true freshman, had it. And Chris Bacon is one of, he's a thumper in the defensive backfield. He comes up hard in run support. That time, coming off the edge, lucky didn't get a flag for that.
Virgil is 6'4", 186 pounds, but boy, the minute that contact was made, you just could feel that was a tough hit. And the Miami medical staff is attending to him right now. We'll break here at Bowling Green. Miami leads 10-7. This is one of the more celebrated teams of Bowling Green football, the 91-92 Falcons that were just so good for not just one season. That was not a one-off. That was 2 years of MAC dominance by the group of gentlemen that you see on the field. As we look at the numbers, Gary Blackney was the head coach, and boy, they were just a juggernaut for sure.
Well, 21-3, and the losses were at Ohio State, at Wisconsin, and at West Virginia. 2 for 2 in bowls. Terrific offense behind quarterback Eric White, running back Leroy Smith.
So the field goal attempt is good, and Miami able to convert the fumbled kickoff into points on the field goal hit by Graham Nicholson, who has now made 2 field goals today for Miami.
You mentioned moral victories early, and a lot of coaches they don't agree with that. They don't prescribe to anything dealing with moral victories. You either win or you lose. But I'm going to say, for their defense to bow up in that situation and let Miami only come away with 3 points, it's some sort of victory, moral or otherwise.
And if you're just joining this game, you're thinking, hey, 13-7, boy, this is Miami playing their game the way they want. The score is misleading. Bowling Green has really been doing a good job of kind of inflicting their mindset on what Miami's doing offensively, i.e., the Falcons' defense is really achieving above and beyond.
Yeah, and turnovers once again, Bowling Green. Turnovers and penalties have hurt them again. They had interception in the end zone thrown by Matt McDonald, and then the kick here giving Miami a short field, setting them up for 3 points. So a couple big turnovers that either took points off the board for them or put points on for Miami, and that's one of the stories of this game.
Yeah, we just showed you Eric Lewis, and he knew that the ground game was going to be where it was at in terms of his unit stopping, and there's Keith on the return. He possesses that one, and now Bowling Green can kind of reset take a deep breath and bring their offense out. Still a one-score game. There's McDonald's numbers from the first half. The only real blemish is the interception he threw in the end zone.
Look at this heavy formation offensively. Only 2 wide receivers. A couple tight ends to the right of the formation.
On the ground, they go again back to Jason Patterson. Patterson stays up, but there's white jerseys there to finally take him down after a short gain.
You know, we've talked a lot about the Bowling Green defense and the inability to run, but Miami, there's Ryan McWood, but Miami's rush defense has been outstanding as well. Of course, there's McWood and his linebacker partner, Matthew Salopek. And then up front, you've got Austin Ertl, Caden Woolard. Those are the 4 rocks of this defense. They've got a lot of young guys, but those guys have been very consistent.
McDonald complete to C.J. Lewis, finding the seam in the secondary. First down get for the Falcons. This is how their second half started last week. McDonald got into a comfort zone, moving the football around in the air.
And a big part of it was C.J. Lewis, who was quiet in the first half, both last week and this week. Let's see if McDonald goes back to Lewis.
From the 30, they go back to Patterson on the ground. Jason is a big force, 6 foot, 220 pounds, and he has been pounding away at that Miami front, and that's a gain of 5 on first down.
And look at the rankings coming into today's game. First in total yards, rushing yards. It's impressive work. They're 10th in the FBS in defense themselves. So this is a very stout Miami defense.
Little toss on that far side. The hookup with Kevon Kroom. And Kroom moving it out and getting another BG first down.
And BG's going back to what I meant reference in the first half. That's attacking at different levels and different areas of the field. This time, the quick screen to their receiver. They had him outflanked. And Kroom with a big gain, moving the chains. And now let's see where the BG offense wants to attack this very tough Miami defense.
From their own 42, there's a push run. Good tackle made. I think that's Patterson, nope, that's Johnson. And Matthew Salopek on the stop, who held Johnson enough to keep that play from getting any bigger. Still a gain of about 3 yards.
And a new wrinkle here, Bowling Green's tempo. They're on the ball. Perhaps they learned this from Kent State last week, because they had some success doing this against Miami.
McDonald's got to run out of pressure, and there's nobody. Finally, he gets taken down with authority by Michael Dowell. Good decision to run, but the problem was the pressure was already coming down on him.
Michael Dowell, the third of the football-playing Dowell brothers, transferred from Michigan State. And look at the speed from the defense. He's the boundary safety. They got him up at the line on that one, pressuring. He's got two twin older brothers, David and Andrew, who played at Michigan State as well. Coach Martin happy to have Michael Dowell. He's become a big-time contributor in the back half of the Red Hawks defense.
3rd and 9, pressure and a throw and a drop right in the middle. Should have had it. That's Lewis. Right on target, and it falls right to the turf.
And it looked like the referee got in front of this. I don't know if we can get the shot from behind McDonald right here. Watch the ref come in front. Look at that. And C.J. Lewis, I mean, look, he's got to catch that football. It hit him between the 2 number 1s that he wears on the front of his jersey. But the referee dodging out of the way at the last moment, I don't think helped the level of difficulty on that catch.
So Sear will punt, and kind of a knuckleball kick, and it hits Boy, that was a little dangerous for Miami. That ball hit an area where there were some white jerseys. It is Miami football. The Red Hawks with a 13-7 second half lead on BG. Miami leading 13-7. One of the cornerstones of their success has been their offensive line. They have returned 4 starters this year, and that has been maybe part of the reason that the offense is held together in the absence of losing their quarterback.
Yeah, when you have somebody like Schaefer who started 30 games, and then Rusty Feth in the middle, that's the quarterback of this offensive group. Both of those two in particular have started since 2019 when they were true freshmen. Losing Sam Vaughn for the year certainly has hurt them. But Coach Martin called his entire team as tight-knit of a team that he's seen in a while, and it starts with those big guys up front.
So Miami is backed up at their own 10-yard line, but leading 13-7. Smith mixing things up at the line. Now it's just a simple run, and they don't get much. Good cover in the backfield. That's Mosey on the touch. They have not used, again, we know Miami, Ryan, can run with running back by committee, but Mosey really hasn't done a whole lot today. Husky on the stop.
Yeah, Husky, look at the cornerback blitz coming in, and the true freshman just enough to trip him up, and Anders finishes him off. We haven't seen Mosley. He's a bigger back from the Pickerington area in central Ohio by Columbus.
So they only get a gain of 1. Now Smith will throw. This is a deep ball coming near side and incomplete. Well overthrown. BG in the secondary with the Jordan Oladokin on the coverage.
Yeah,
hands on the helmet like, man, that should have been able to get that.
Yeah, Oladokin, he didn't pick up the football soon enough, because if he had, he could have shifted into another gear and became the wide receiver. That was a dangerous pass into double coverage, and Oladokin coming off the hash marks, he was holding his helmet because he really had an opportunity to create a turnover.
Big play for Bowling Green defensively. 3rd and long for Miami. They'll throw a little easy catch, but Bowling Green is all over that big time. Jalen Walker on the catch, but nothing developed after that. Trent Sims is the one who gets credit for the stop.
They had 3-on-3, and it's about individual efforts. You see, the tackle doesn't get out in time. That's Will Jados, number 70. He's trying to get to Sims, and he doesn't. Sims gets underneath it and able to bring down Walker before any substantial gain. Bowling Green, once again, their defense is going to get him off the field, rather.
And they've got good field position coming, barring a outrageously good kick, which this is okay, but nothing great. Falcons are going to set up shop somewhere near midfield. So we're talking about what Bowling Green's doing defensively, and really, Ryan, everything so far today seems like it's funneling through Carl Brooks.
Well, their coaches this week, Eric Lewis, their defensive coordinator, says he's a factor on every single play. He plays well every rep, every week. It's that level of consistency. It's almost a set it and forget it. We don't have to worry about number 11 because he's going to bring it every single play. He's been a big-time factor this afternoon.
You just saw total yards in favor of Bowling Green. That may be a little bit unexpected.
And you look at this defense. They've got number 21, Michael Dowell, up on the edge. He's, again, a safety. They're going to a 5-man front.
Patterson on the ground. He just plows ahead. Austin Ertl makes the stop.
We talked about how outstanding Brooks has been all year, and he's one of 2 players in FBS with 22 total tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. Now, that's coming into this game. Those numbers have gone up. I don't know what Jacoby Windman at Michigan State has done or will do today, but Carl Brooks is staying in that competition, in that conversation from what he's doing on the field today.
Gain of 2 on first down. Here's Johnson getting space in the middle. Stays up. That's good. A good gain for BG out to about the 40. Brings up 3rd down.
There's Brooks on defense. And man, you know, 65 snaps. He hasn't come off the field very much on defense. But, you know, when you're an NFL-type talent, they project possibly that he moves inside at the next level. But that's a guy who plays on Sundays, whether he's playing D-end, which is rare at 300 pounds, or he's playing inside, where his speed will be a factor. Back to Fannin on the handoff.
On 3rd and 2, first down and then some. He's still up inside the 20 to about the 15. Whoa, baby, there he is.
That was the play they scored earlier, and Harold Fannin Jr., this is a real talent. Look at his ability to run. You don't have tight ends that use the stiff arm, that level of footwork, speed, and vision. But Harold Fannin, again, big-time ceiling on that young man.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of good looks from him going forward. Yeah, it was the same play, only this time he bounced outside for big yardage. They're at the 16-yard line. Falcons in the red zone. Oh, little shovel toss inside. That's Bowden. Great carry. Yeah, they're just doing all kinds of good things. Christian Sims is actually the one that takes the shovel pass, but still.
So earlier they ran that return motion and gave it to him around the edge. This time they fake it and they hit the shovel pass rather to Christian Sims. So they're taking a new look and then they're going to fake that new look and give you a third new look. Really impressive stuff from Bowling Green's offense.
Still 2nd down. Patterson's going to bounce it outside and then turn it in. Still up inside the 5. Man, that is some desire. Moving those legs inside the 5.
Ryan McWood was in position to make a play in the backfield. I don't know if the club played a role, but watch right here. There, see, he can't grab him with that left hand, and then this is all individual effort. Look at the leg drive running through tackles. Jyshawn Patterson has him inside the 5.
Look how hard Michael Dowell has to work to take him down. He almost got carried in. 1st and goal from the 3. And on the ground, there isn't much there at all for Patterson.
And I think this is Dowell again in the backfield with McWood tripping him up. Miami's blitzing the run right now. So if you're going to see play action, you could see it here because they're bringing all their hats and they're focusing on Patterson. And they should, because right now Bowling Green's running down the field on them.
2nd and goal from the 4. They're going to throw a McDonald end zone. Oh, man, almost picked.
There was the play action, but, you know, you really have to be careful with the football in that time.
Ambe Caldwell, we had it right in his hands.
And he threw it right at him. And there were 2. I mean, McKee was going to be there as well with Sims. And right now, Coach Leffler has to be thinking that his senior quarterback needs to be smart with the football, and maybe they keep it on the ground.
And it's really only been in the red zone, again, because he threw that interception in the first half that, you know, could have been a field goal. 3rd and goal from the 4. McDonald under some duress. He'll throw it and throw it away. That's about the only place he could go with that. Ty Wise was near, but not in danger of intercepting it. So, again, the wind is a tangible factor for both field goal kickers today.
And that's the right decision by McDonald. You know, Miami was pressuring him, and instead of trying to force it, just throw the ball into the front row and come away with some points.
So this is really a short kick for Mason Lawler. And he puts it through to get 3 points on the board for Bowling Green.
Mason, we've been talking about Michael Dowell, Lawler and Dowell, high school teammates.
13-10. Miami still leading at BG. Well, Bowling Green's been able to get the ball in the red zone, but some challenges for Matt McDonald with his mechanics, maybe, Ryan, to execute down there.
Well, that was going to be the focus this week for Coach Leffler, and you see off the play action, he's looking up Sims. But Ambry Caldwell, if you look here, when he's looking at him, Ertl on defense, number 0, and the offensive lineman, because they're in the path, he doesn't see 19 right here. Caldwell's right there. So what he thinks is open is a window that closes because he couldn't see the linebacker sprinting after. But as far as the mechanics on that one, what Coach Leffler's talking about is staying on rhythm. You hit the third step and you're ready to throw. Here off play action, shows it, pops up, and delivers the football. But, you know, when you go play action like that, if you're really going to do proper play action, you're looking at the running back and you're selling the run, which takes your eyes off the defense. So now you don't know where the coverage is or if they've flipped coverage from your pre-snap read into post-snap true actual coverage.
In case you're confused, Ryan definitely played quarterback in college.
And threw a lot of interceptions. So I understand why from watching the film.
Yeah. Ryan Cavanaugh's biography, The Art of the Interception. We'll work on that title. Don't worry.
It's a working title.
Yes, a work in progress.
Yeah.
Right.
And hopefully I don't have any more interceptions in me, so we know how the story ends.
Hopefully no more meaningful interceptions.
No, right.
Yeah. So it's back to work for Miami. And again, this game really has not unfolded the way they've wanted. Obviously, the score is everything, but they've been trying to run the football. Bowling Green has been able to really stop their run. And the big play for Miami ended late in the first half with a fumbled kickoff and then a long score. Here's a deep ball and, well, incomplete. Miles Marshall was the target, but he was nowhere near that ball as Smith just put too much on it.
Yeah, they got tangled up, and I was looking for a flag. But, you know, the Bowling Green defense, it's been night and day from last week in Buffalo till today. They allowed 280 yards rushing. There it is, 280 rushing. Today, only 41. And that is a direct reflection with that second column, Dan, the points.
So this game is very, very much up in the air. Second down and 10. And here's a run on second down. That's a good run. Miami attacking off tackle again with Tyree Shelton on the carry.
This is a great read by Shelton because you're going to see Hardiman, the inside linebacker from Bowling Green. He actually blitzes to the left. Watch Hardiman, number 12. Watch, and he goes left, and Shelton goes and replaces him, and that's why he had that running lane. Now, it was a nice play off the edge to shut it down, but good vision by Shelton to recognize when a linebacker vacates an area.
He's got a little shovel pass. Wow, what a great heads-up play there by Smith. Just tossed it ahead to Kevin Davis. Davis bails him out and gets the Red Hawk first down.
One of Avion Smith's talents is being creative and being able to improvise. And a lot of times with running quarterbacks, you get that. The play by Patrick Mahomes a couple of weeks ago reminds me of that. But right here, like, hey, let me get it to my receiver and get at least 5 more yards, and let's see what he can do with it.
Yeah, sorry, that was Hippenhammer on the catch, not Davis.
Yeah, and Hippenhammer only had 1 catch for 5 yards last week. This is his first catch here. He's a guy that they really want to get involved in the offense. He's an impact player for the Red Hawks.
Miami at the 28. As we move to 3 minutes left in our third quarter. Smith on the move, pressure, and he stays up. Somehow he's still got the play going, and he completes it to the tight end, Jack Coldiron. That was a whole bunch of stuff that came from nothing.
Well, Avion Smith was able to extend that play with his feet. And you see him somehow get away here, tucks the football, and then when he gets his eyes back downfield and finds Coldiron, that's the improvisation I was talking about. And you can only do that if you have the athleticism and elusiveness to avoid the pass rush like Smith just did.
So that's a pickup of 7. Felt like 20.
It did.
And there's the run. They stack it up inside. Miami's not going to get much of anything out of that.
And Patrick Day, you see him tap his helmet. Thought he was saying, I need a play here. And he did. He's, you see him say, look, you got to get me for one play. There's something going on with his arm. But that was tough sledding inside, and you see Bowling Green. I was wondering how they're going to do it with their, because it looks like their defensive line's getting tired. So they've rotated some new guys in there.
3rd and 1. They're just going to push the pile. And that looks like a Miami first down for sure. Smith is slow to get off the pile, but it's a first down get for the Red Hawks.
Well, he's done a lot, like on this drive. Like those, it takes a lot of energy to run around. Like I always call it backyard football, but running around, making plays, getting hit, quarterback sneaks. Like that can take a toll on a quarterback.
Ball at the 38. Miami not making big plays. Little step. Oh, ball is hit out of his hands on the turf. Is it live? Yes. And I think Bowling Green's got the football. All those brown jerseys are pointing. They're going to unpile it. No signal yet. Falcons have recovered a fumble.
It's Demetrius Hardiman who comes off the edge, number 14, and he creates the sack and the strip. Jordan Porter was at the bottom of the pile. I don't know who came up with it, but I know who started it. That's Demetrius Hardiman. And that's just a speed rush off to the left of the quarterback. And you're going to see Hardiman get in. Wow. Beautiful job.
Great ball vision. And again, Bowling Green were able to recover it. And now good field position.
And Avion Smith was trying to get it to Hippenhammer on the sluggo. That's a slant go. That's a longer developing route. And the longer time it took allowed Hardiman to get in, but he was in a hurry.
Jason Patterson carries for Bowling Green. Now their opportunity to exploit this turnover and make it count for them. Ball at the 38, the 33, only a gain of 1 on first down.
Well, I don't know what just happened there.
Well, Miami's jumping like something happened. Now they're back in it. McDonald looks off and throws wide open. Complete to Broden. Underneath into soft coverage, and Bowling Green has another first down. Well, I think you want energy from your defense, Ryan, but not so much that you're jumping around when the ball is snapped.
And on the wrong side of the ball, they were jumping around. I mean, he was offsides. Ungu was offsides, jumping up and down, trying to alert the officials that a BG lineman had jumped.
From the 19, McDonald throws, a little wobbly, but mishandled by Broden.
Yeah, threw it behind it. You know, there's a fine line between the ball not being in the ideal spot and still being catchable. So this is behind Broden, but he's got to make this adjustment as he turns around and bring in the football. And that so what happens, you see this a lot more often with receivers, where instead of using two hands, they'll just be a little too casual. And you saw Broden just reach out with his right hand as if to, make a spectacular.
In fairness, he's 6'7", and those arms are pretty long.
Okay.
Maybe it's an arm management thing. Here's Patterson trying to get the edge. He stays up and falls ahead to about the 12. Boy, he was real close to getting out of that tackle and extending that run. That's going to end our third quarter of football. Bowling Green is on the move in the red zone. A 13-10 lead for visiting Miami. Fourth quarter football when we come back to Deutsch Perry Stadium. Holding here between Bowling Green and Miami. Miami with the very slim lead at 13-10. The Falcons are on the move after a fumble recovery. 3rd and 4 from the 13. McDonald on the move. Ball is tipped incomplete. Needed a little more air under it. Michael Dowell got a hand on it.
Michael Dow has made an impact for the Red Hawks defensively. You know, he's a safety, but he's almost a hybrid linebacker that they'll roll up on the line of scrimmage. He can drop into coverage or rush the passer. That time, getting in the passing lane.
So Lawler will try a field goal of about 30 yards, 31 yards to tie this game. Wind is still strong, but not that bad. And it hits off the crossbar and does not go through. Or the post, sorry. Just didn't quite take the right bounce. And it ends up to be no points for Lawler and BG.
Mason Lawler has been a very consistent kicker for BG as well. That hold by Jack Sauter looks good. The mechanics of the entire process look good from snap to hold to kick. He just pushed it right. Oh, and you see the body language as soon as he hit it, he knew it was too far right. Just how far was it?
Well, at that point, it's all about how does the ball hit the post. You get you get the right angle, but
Number 75. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, Cleveland had a double doink a couple weeks ago, and you think about how that can happen.
Here's our max scoreboard. Some games in progress. We've got Central Michigan with a road lead at Akron. Buffalo, a big lead at UMass at the half. UConn just starting with a 7-0 lead against Ball State. All the other games coming up later this afternoon. And here's Miami running on first down. They dodged a bullet. Still, the lead is very small. Keon Mosley on that carry. You know, you just can't leave. If you're Miami right now, Ryan, you just can't leave the game this close. You got to figure out a way to somehow try and make this a 2-score game.
And that's the way to do it, on the ground. Now, it's a 6-yard gain, but you had to get back 5 of the penalty yards. So you have to play cleaner, and they're going to, if they're going to drive for the most part, they're going to do it on the ground. And then let Smith take some shots downfield.
It's a gain of only 1. Smith is going to have to improvise here. Pressure coming. He'll throw and send it right into the Miami sideline. Incomplete.
Damn. Yeah. Avion Smith had a wheel route out of the backfield that he just didn't see up the sideline. And then he rolled the other way. So take a look. And they come over the middle, but that first run, the first back, Kevin Davis up the sideline right there. He continues up the sideline, is free. Smith just doesn't catch him. That was a touchdown.
3rd down and 9. Again, Bowling Green's defense has really answered the bell many times today. They'll try and do it here. Smith, tight pocket, and ball is incomplete. That was not a comfortable throw for Smith. Kind of had to throw in some tight space to Jalen Walker, and Walker could not haul it in.
Well, here's the footwork. Watch, you talk about the footwork, and as soon as he throws it, the pocket's collapsing into him, and that's what drove the football outside for Jalen Walker, Jaywalk, unable to convert. But that's the front of Bowling Green, pushing the offensive lineman back into the quarterback.
So again, Falcons are set to maybe get good field position. Ball is not going to be returned, and it takes a BG hop and is blown dead just outside the 45-yard line. Timeout here at Deutsch Perry Stadium, Miami up on Bowling Green. One of the studs defensively for Miami, Ryan McWood, is a guy that does so much of everything for what they want to do, Ryan.
Yeah, this super senior from Brother Rice, Michigan, up in the Detroit area. You know, they lost 8 really good defensive players off of last year's team, and Coach Chuck Martin said he's got 4 rocks. You got Ryan McWood and Matt Salopek as the linebackers, and up front you got Caden Woolard, Austin Ertl. And he said at times it's been frustrating because of so many young players. But when you have linebackers like McWood, who's been there seven years now, they've been very patient.
McDonald's going to air it out. Oh, that's a flag. You could spot that a mile away as Odu Hilaire got held. Well, that's an easy one. So Chuck Martin is probably not happy that his defensive back grabbed a jersey.
Oh, they picked it up. They're going to pick this flag up.
Wow.
I believe.
Well, they're going to have to, well.
There is no foul for pass interference. Second down.
So, Dan, this pass by McDonald was thrown deep, but that's because of one of those guys. Look at Caden Woolard, number 90, coming off the edge, and how quickly he gets to Matt McDonald, who had to let it rip. And then at the tail end, what they thought was meaning the crowd in front of us, thought was defensive holding. Penalty flag was picked up, but there's the Massillon Tiger, Caden Woolard, who is only getting better.
Second down and 10. McDonald's going to throw. Here's a sharp ball thrown and complete. The connection with C.J. Lewis. He comes back and gets a first down for the Falcons. Nice rebound play for BG after that no call on the previous snap.
Lewis with 4 catches last week. This is second today. Runs a good route. Ball's delivered on time.
And they're in Miami territory. Now on the carry. Ooh, good hit there at the point of attack. Try to bounce off and get some yardage, but I tell you what, that is a impressive Johnson on the run, but the hit was by Ty Wise, and I'm surprised he could even go forward after a hit like that.
Yeah, that's where you cut back, and there's a 6'2", 235-pounder waiting for you, and Ty Wise. That was a big-time hit.
They picked up 3 yards, but boy, they did it the hard way. 2nd and 7. McDonald's got pressure. Little screen in the middle. This is complete for big yardage. And they're going big time with Fannin. Boy, he is getting the ball to him for just about every big play they have offensively, Ryan.
Yeah, and they caught Miami in the perfect defense. You see Salopek coming off the edge, the rush through the middle, and Fannin is, man, you're right. He has delivered every time they've called his number.
Again, that's just a freshman. You don't expect big plays like that. And they're at the 24-yard line. McDonald looking, and ball is behind C.J. Lewis, but he holds it for a catch for the Falcons. Yeah.
That was a similar play to the one we saw earlier. It's behind him, but receivers have to make those adjustments. I mean, that's where the body control comes in play. And, you know, when Coach, you mentioned earlier, Coach Leffler said, who's going to bring your energy? Well, he's relying on the wide receivers. And to do that, you have to make plays like that on the field as well.
2nd down and 4. They're at the 19. Oh, a little delayed handoff. And a smart carry for Tayron Keith. Touchdown, Bowling Green. Tayron Keith breaks it for 19 yards. And the Falcons take a 4th quarter lead here at home.
Watch Tayron Keith. He starts to the right and lets his eyes lead him. And you got a couple good blocks downfield. Tayron Keith, good piece of running, untouched, into the end zone for 6.
So again, the Bowling Green offense deflated after the field goal miss. Now they answer with a touchdown and a PAT, and they have launched ahead 17-13. So the Falcons looking for some redemption on Miami. Tayron Keith scampers for 19 yards, and the Falcons are flying high.
C. Johnson.
Falcons have stepped into a fourth quarter lead here on a very cool autumn afternoon here in northern Ohio. So things remain very competitive and close. There have not been any large lead swings. It's been a pretty low scoring game throughout. And the wind has continued to kind of delay our kickoffs. We've had the ball blown off the tee a couple times. And here's Mason Lawler going to have to tee it up again.
Yeah, and this is, you see at the right to your screen, the gunner. Oh, I thought the gunner was going to come in and have to hold the ball. Like that's his job. But no, Mason Lawler is going to try it one more time. I don't have a whole lot of faith it's going to stay. I think the wind wins again.
It's been consistent all game long. Starting back to the first field goal make by Miami early in this game, but boy, he pounds that one, and that is certainly not going to be returned. So Scott Loeffler's demeanor earlier this week was the kind you didn't want. We've got an injured player on the field, or maybe, nope, just a huddle. Okay, so Scott Loeffler is a coach who desperately wants to figure out how to put a 1 next to that 24.
Yeah, and in fairness to Lefty, that isn't really, he took over a program that, had some troubles. So, that almost makes it look like he doesn't know how to coach in the fourth quarter or bring his team back. And I think that would be an unfair conclusion. But certainly,
when you've got two Bowling Green defenders lifting the ball carrier off the field, that's pretty much play over. Okay, you don't see that often. Usually it's just one guy.
No, yeah.
And question for you, Ryan, what's going through Avion Smith's head right now? You're playing behind in the fourth quarter. You know that the whole scheme offensively is built to stay on the ground and play with a lead as opposed to playing from behind. Where's his head at right now?
Whoa. That was a massive tackle up front by Dontez Brown. Well, right now, this is a passing situation. So what Avion Smith is saying, he's gained confidence, especially in the passing attack. Last week against Kent State, we saw at the top of the program, he had a huge run to close the show. He's going to have to make plays, and he knows that, but he's got to stay calm and let the game come to him, not force that play. But at some point in the next 11 minutes, Avion Smith, at least once, is going to have to make a big play, and it might be right here.
3rd and 9. Not much pressure. He's going to run. He's going to get a first down and a whole bunch more. Stays up. Finally tackled inside midfield. Wow. Talk about the seeing it before it happens.
Yeah, well,
called by Ryan Cavanaugh.
Yeah. I'm going to put the crystal ball away. What happened there was the offensive line created lanes, and Avion Smith saw the green space and trusted in his legs. There's the vision again, making people miss extra yards. Avion Smith does that so well.
Out to the 48. Now they'll run again, and this is Shelton carrying. Maybe positive yardage for about 4 yards. It's the big hogs up front that really make plays like that happen.
Yep, well, there they are. Look at, I love my guy, Rusty Feth, number 60 right there in the middle. He's got the bionic arm brace. There's eye black. That's all over his face right now. He's got the arm sleeve tattoo. Coleraine, Ohio, that's a football team that is known for running the football. That's where he came from. So this is his world right now.
3-yard run on first down. And whistles and flag before the snap.
Play a game. Offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And they've got plenty of help from the Bowling Green faithful on that delay of game, as If they didn't know the people screaming at the officials that the clock had expired helped tip them off. Here's Avion Smith now behind the chains, and you just can't afford to have mistakes like that when you're trying to drive the length of the football field.
2nd down and 12. They run inside. BG shuts it down. That's Kenny Tracy. And only got a few yards to bring up 3rd and long. Anthony Hawkins on the stop. It seems like Bowling Green's emphasis should be on clogging the middle. Miami doesn't seem to want to run wide.
Well, these two right here have been battling all day long. Rusty Feth on the right, Anthony Hawkins on the left. Hawkins got the W on that one.
3rd down and 7. And Smith is going to have to roll out. And he is taken down short of the 1st down marker. And that is Anders on the stop, who did not buy the fake. You could see Smith using those nimble feet, but that time Anders didn't get faked out. He took him down.
Well, it starts again from Hardiman. Look on the right. He almost got held there. And then here, I thought Avion Smith was going to get him, but Darren Anders wraps him up, brings him down, and the punt team is headed out on the field. And the sideline of Bowling Green is screaming and imploring and waving at their defensive front to hold their water. Don't jump, because jumping off sides would be a 1st down for Miami.
Yeah, let's see if they even go with a long snap. No. See if they just let this punt go, and it is a fair catch called for at the 10-yard line. We'll break. It's Bowling Green football. When we return, they lead Miami 17-13.
We decided.
Here's what the lay of the land looks like in the Mid-American Conference. We got 2 teams that are unbeaten in conference play. Then a lot of teams that are kind of falling in the middle of the pack, and Buffalo and Toledo are the 2 standards in the East and West Division, respectively.
And Buffalo currently is up big on UMass. Toledo, of course, going to play down the street shortly against Kent State. But if they're both able to win, that sets up that mega matchup we were talking about at halftime between the 2 of them.
So the Falcons trying to get things going offensively from not great field position. The carry on 1st down is not much for Jamal Johnson.
Austin Ertl on the tackle, the nose guard, who's 290 pounds, runs so well. Ertl's another guy who I'm sure NFL scouts are looking at, if not drafted in a camp. He's only a junior, but man, he moves well for his size.
Correction, Patterson on the carry, only a gain of 2. So 6.5 minutes. Now you're Bowling Green. You just want to kind of keep your offense on the field, keep the clock moving, and obviously get yardage. Oh, big run in the middle here. That's a 1st down pickup. Jason Patterson again finding the soft spot and then picking up an important BG 1st down.
Patterson's a foot in the ground, 1 cut type back, and you saw it there. There's nothing fancy. Cut, foot in the ground, and then north and south. He slips through the hole. Big time run. Michael Dowell, another tackle there at the end.
And Chuck Martin on the Miami sideline is like, hey, defense, we cannot keep you guys on the field for very long. We got to get our offense back out there. From the 25. On the ground, Patterson again. This time space on the outside, still up, still going at the 40. Finally, 3 tacklers convene to push him out. Flag, though, at about midfield.
And they're going to get a block by C.J. Lewis in the back at the tail end. He was blocking on the outside, and as Patterson ran by him, Lewis, I believe, pushed the defender. Let's see.
Holding. Offense. Number 11. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul will still result in a 1st down.
So a mixed bag. The run was so big that they still get a positive yardage on it. And there's Patterson blasting his way into that space.
And C.J. Lewis, they might have got away with the hold at the line of scrimmage, but you're going to see number 11
48-yard line.
right here hold him. And that's what got the flag. The ref throws it right there. And that's why it's still a first down, because it was so far downfield. Even with the 10 yards, it moves the chains. But that erases a very big run for Jashawn Patterson.
So the officials will convene. And Bowling Green's going to kind of take advantage and get themselves sorted out offensively. 5.5 minutes left to go. Bowling Green has been in this game from the get-go, and Miami's dominance running the football has not been as prevalent this week as it has been in the games leading up to it.
And right now, I always listen, the better offensive line, the better running game usually gets stronger as the game goes on because they're wearing down the defense. But it's Bowling Green's rushing attack that's starting to hit its stride.
Keith spins out of one tackle, but then he's swarmed under. And now the officials blow the play dead. Going to probably spot the ball outside the 40-yard line. It's going to bring up third and a meaningful 5 or 6 yards.
And Bowling Green right now is giving Miami a dose of their own medicine, at least the Miami version without Brett Gabbert. That is running, using a number of different backs, keeping them fresh, and imposing your will at the line of scrimmage with your offensive line.
Okay, sorry, second down, not first down, but clock still rolling. That is an advantage for the Falcons. Here's Patterson. Oh, the quarterback, Keith McDonald. Not sure if that was what he wanted to do, but it was certainly a negative play for Bowling Green.
Yeah, you know, they were running the zone read. McDonald kept it. The problem is when you keep the formation that they had, they only had a tight end on the edge, which means there's a defensive back out there in space. And Levi Gazarek was not able to get enough of John Saunders right there, and Saunders was in perfect position to tackle McDonald for a loss.
So third down and 8, ball at the 40.
McWood on a blitz.
McDonald gets out of one, but not both. Way too many white jerseys in there. And the Red Hawks are going to make Bowling Green punt the football.
We've talked earlier about the club that McWood's, and you wonder, watch McWood blitz right there to the right of your screen. He flies over top, but you wonder if he has two hands that are able to grab onto him. Does he bring McDaniel down? Doesn't matter. They get the sack anyways.
The Falcons are punting Miami football when we come back. Still football for Miami. They are waiting to take this Bowling Green punt. And the Falcons defense has been up to the challenge for the most part today, but there is still work to do. They brought a lot of pressure, but a good punt and a fair catch called for. Great punt by Bowling Green. No return. Miami football at their own 25. 3.5 minutes left, and a problematic spot for Avion Smith. But again, his inexperience is not as important as his presence and his skills.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what Smith is able to do. He's got, because it's on him at this point. You know, he's got, and 3 points won't work, so they've got to go the whole 75, get into the end zone. 65.
First down, they go play action. And now Smith is on the move, and he's just going to get out of bounds. Positive yardage, but nothing developed downfield. So he takes what the defense gives him. And really, you know, Ryan, we haven't talked about this yet. The challenge for Bowling Green's front line is to, you want to contain him and keep him inside, but he's so good at seeing those running lanes that even when you contain him, he can still hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. And what the answer to that generally would be is having Darren Anders or one of these linebackers spying on him and expecting that.
They throw, and ball is bobbled by Cold Iron and dropped. Red Hawks have not made any mistakes with bobbled catches, or bobbled, pass attempts. That's one of them.
Yeah, Jack Cold Iron. I was wondering when they were going to go to the big fella. You want to get the ball to your tight end and maybe work the middle of that defense. But you got Darren Anders. You always need to have that thumper in the middle of the defense.
Right in the vicinity. This is 3rd down and 7. So again, this is where Smith, last time he was in a box like this, he beat him with a long run. He'll throw, pressure. Now he steps up, incomplete. Anders was right in the middle of it. Not a well-thrown ball, but it's incomplete. And now 4th down and 7. You're on your own 28.
Look, there's heavy pressure.
There's no punting unit coming on the field for Miami.
No, you can't afford to. And Avion Smith that time under heavy pressure actually threw the ball off the helmet of Anders. 50% on 4th down conversions, none bigger than this one. Game on the line.
Bowling Green sideline is jumping. See what kind of pressure the Falcons bring. Pressure. Now he rolls out of the pocket. He'll run, and he will be stopped. Maybe about 2 yards shy of the first down. Boy, he's awfully close. He lunged ahead. I don't know. He may have gotten it. It is that close. They say no. They say it's Bowling Green football. Smith tried to ride a blocker to get the first down, but he did not have enough.
Well, this pass rush was terrific, and it's Carl Brooks coming off the end that ultimately flushes Avion Smith. Look at Brooks to the right of your TV screen, and number 11 can't get him, but he does flush him out. And then you have the backside pursuit. Walter Hare and Anthony Hawkins combined with Carl Brooks. That front three have been terrific this afternoon.
Okay, let's be clear. 2:38 is left. Bowling Green can't go to victory formation yet by any stretch of the imagination. They got to burn this clock. They have good field position. They don't have to do anything huge, but still.
Miami has 2 timeouts. Bowling Green's been running the football very well, and look at how many people are on the line of scrimmage defensively for Miami.
Patterson stays up, pushing the pile, and he stays in bounds. Boy, this series is tailor-made.
30 seconds. Charge timeout. Miami.
Tailor-made for Jason Patterson. This is where you want your power runner to flex, use that power, stay in bounds, and get that yardage.
Yeah, the 220-pound bowling ball. See, Scott Loeffler, he has to feel good about where he's at, but not totally convinced. But with Miami using that timeout, 2nd and 5, if Bowling Green is able to convert a first down, they're going to be real close to being able to get into that victory formation. And Michael Dowell had Patterson in the backfield. He stepped out of the tackle, and they're going to look back at the film and say that that was a huge play by Patterson. And again, 7 Miami Red Hawk defenders on the line of scrimmage with 4 right behind him.
Patterson, again, he waits and just gets kind of swallowed up. Now the clock is stopped again, 2:27. As we take a look at the Miami sidelines,
Miami.
We've referenced
the
the
final
great
timeout of the half.
resume that Chuck Martin has, being one of the longest tenured coaches in the Mid-American Conference. And with consistency usually breeds stability, which usually breeds success. And Chuck told us earlier this week, he said, you know what? I understand all the struggles that Scott Loeffler is going through here at Bowling Green. You take over a program, it's kind of at a low point. You have to maybe have a year or two to kind of start re-fortifying the trenches. And that's a guy right there, Chuck Martin, who understands the very difficult obstacles that can present themselves to a coach in this conference.
And Chuck Martin's a proven winner. 2 straight national championships while at Grand Valley, was at Notre Dame with Brian Kelly. Inherited a program here that needed some help, and now he's got it past the point of needing help and in the pole position as a perennial contender.
They're going to run wide, and that's Patterson just putting his head down for a first down pickup. The power run. They go wide, and they hit it, and they get the first down.
And they've been going off that right side. Alex Wolschlager, Bronson Warner. Look at the offensive line, getting fits on bodies. Beautiful job. You got the center, Jakari Robinson, pulling to get out front. And Jason Patterson. Did they stop the clock? No, the clock's rolling.
So the game is tilting definitely more in favor of Bowling Green. Inside 2 minutes, 1st and 10. Back to Patterson. Boy, it's just a will right now for him to push those legs forward. I'm pretty sure the way the rest of this game is going to go. Patterson's going to get the football. Miami's going to have to find a way to stop him, and the way the clock is rolling, it's getting more and more treacherous for the Red Hawks.
Well, Patterson, you look at that, the career high, 94 yards today on 18 carries. 5.2 is what's most impressive. But for me, it's this offensive line and their response from last week, and Coach Loeffler asking those big guys to put this football team on their back and win us a football game. We need to get 2 first downs. We're going to do it on the ground, and we're going to do it right behind you guys. Now go get the job done. And they've responded very well.
30-second. Charge timeout. Bowling Green. They're first. Another half.
To reflect back on Patterson, Ryan, you say, well, 94 yards. That number, if you don't top 100, that doesn't really grab your attention, but it's the way he got those 94 yards. I mean, just, man up, man on, one-on-one, and that's really was maybe as meaningful as getting, an extra 5 or 10 yards every run.
Yeah, I would agree, and he's done a terrific job of not going down at first contact. And so, look, he's not the speed guy who, like we saw Teron Keith with that big, long run. He's not going to get yards in that fashion, which means they're just harder earned. And to your point, it makes that 94 yards look all that more impressive. And now we get victory formation.
Yeah, they needed a big shift in emotion. That's what Bowling Green absolutely had to have, and they got it today. It started with their defense. They overcame a mistake by Matt McDonald with the red zone interception early, a field goal that was a miss, and now it is the Falcons of Bowling Green who are going to get a very important, meaningful win over Miami. And the Falcons are going to be very, very happy with the outcome of this game.
Well, Coach Loeffler, in particular, was searching for answers. He said all week, I couldn't figure out the why. Why did this happen? He met with his leadership council and asked them the why. And then he turned the page and said, how do we get it done this week? And he was calling on not only the leadership council, the seniors, but everybody in his locker room to bring the effort that they needed. And from the opening kick, that effort was there, and it results in a big win for Bowling Green.
They circled the wagons, found the emotion they needed, and they ride the wave to a win over Miami. Great win for Bowling Green. The Falcons are feeling great. So for my partner, Ryan Cavanaugh, I'm Dan Gutowski saying so long from Bowling Green, Ohio. Our final score, Bowling Green's Falcons 17, Miami 13. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
If you know, you know.